And I'd like to ask my colleague Kate Warren to join me on stage as we close out the sessions. So Kate,
it's been a great few days that we've been here. Lots of great conversations.
It has been incredible. I want a huge thank you to everybody who's here and to those who've been following online and to the whole Devex team.
Yeah, we have an amazing crew both here in New York and around the world supporting this. So huge shout out to them. We couldn't do this without all of you.
That's right. That's right. No, we've covered so many things this last few days. Anything that stands out to you, Kate, in particular that you want to highlight?
You know, I think that we have a lot of doom and gloom. I think that phrase was said on the stage several times
yes.
Which we know, right? But I personally get very excited about these events because we get to interact and meet with so many of our readers. And hear about the work they're doing despite that doom and gloom and the optimism they still have, and not afraid to roll up their sleeves. Know it's a lot of hard work ahead, but still feeling energized by the community that we serve and that we inform, and really excited to see what we can actually do in the months, years, decades to come.
And the number of leaders and practitioners on the stage who clearly are not here to say, oh, we're just going to keep doing the same thing we've been doing. There is a lot changing in the development sector. A lot of people are trying new things. Not all of it's going to work. But this is a moment when
new things and new people, new players.
Yeah, right.
I feel like you've been to UNGA. What is this? Maybe your 20th?
I came in '96 for the first time.
But I've been hearing a lot of people saying there's new faces, new players, and I think we need everyone on board. Now that was another discussion on the stage here, that we need not just your typical humanitarians, but we need everyone on board to actually make a change.
That's right. Well, I know we're moving to our cocktail reception. I don't want to hold us back from that, but I do think we should say a word about our partners who make an event like this possible.
We do, and we are really grateful to all of our partners who have helped us. We have our innovation partners that you've heard from over the past couple of days: Abbott, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, Catholic Relief Services, Food for the Hungry, the Fred Hollows Foundation, Heifer International, Medtronic Labs, One Side Essilor-Luxottica Foundation, and Open Society Foundations. We have our ecosystem partners: AstraZeneca, the Country Connector on Private Sector in Health, GSK, MSD for Mothers, New Globe, the RBM Partnership to End Malaria, and UN WFP USA, and our supporting partners, HemoQ and the Task Force for Global Health. So thank you all so much. I did tease earlier that we do have a special guest surprise I'm excited about, but also I want to tease some of the things that are to come. Next week, we will have a virtual event, part of our Leader Roundtable series with GCI Health, that we're going to be talking about a lot of these big trends and how it's changing the way global health leaders are approaching development. We also will have a newsmaker in DC and online. If you're in DC and would like to attend, please let us know. With Rep Castro, we'll be talking a lot about the localization agenda and the U.S. role in these global development issues. We'll have a team at World Bank annual meetings, and then we'll be at COP28. There's been a lot of discussion about climate and its an impact on all of the SDGs. We'll have a summit on December 7th, so save the date. If you'll be in Dubai, we hope to see you there. We will also be online. But thank you to all of you. But before we do break for drinks, I am really delighted to welcome to the stage award-winning Pan-African poet, peace advocate, Gates Foundation goalkeeper, campaigner at change.org, Mariam Hassan Bukhar, who has a special treat in store for us. Thank you, Mariam.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to Devex team for having me. The poem that I have for you today basically talks about the issues that we're all fighting to address come 2030. And in fighting these issues, sometimes there's this voice in your head, right? And I'm here to tell you about the voice in my head. You see, the voice in my head, she will always battle me, argue with me, tell me keep my mouth out of what doesn't concern me. See, she only looks out for me and her, so she is selfishly selfless. It is for the greater good, she will always say. And you see, each time I believe her, I became smaller. Each time I yearned for her approval and dreaded our clash. We couldn't share the same place. I was never at peace with her in the same space. See, she is the voice in my head, but I became bolder. Fly, I commanded her. Spread your wings, I urged. Do you feel it? the turbulence in the sky, losing balance before I even counted to 5. Are you scared? In the whirlwind, I remembered. Didn't we see him yesterday as he yawned, his body like a sack of bones, looked like it was going to crumble? We had that conversation. I told her to offer that plate of food, but being logical, she said, this will not cure 5 years of hunger. So I shrugged and wondered at abject poverty. You see how it rhymes with poetry? Sometimes in a different language. I understand. You've got clean water, but they only drink of what the dirt remains as it soaks into earth, germinating seeds, creating shades that we still cut off with our very own hands, yet we scream climate change. Or how we pass through institutions of learning, trading ignorance for bliss. And we remembered Ahmed, may his soul rest in peace, in his attempt to get food by force. He searched for employment in vain. He became smoke. Or how we laughed at the protruding stomach of the body that laid next to us. In her otherwise jolly spirit, the only thing she said was, if they don't fix these hospitals, they will kill you and me with you. But do you know that we can do something about it by implementing the SDGs, because they be providing a framework for pursuing government strategic objectives. So let's quit playing the government blame game. We all have a role to play, and maybe we see it as a film, because all we need now is a team, say the Avengers. Because Lord knows sometimes some of us will have to wear a Hulk mask or be a Thor, and whoever you are, there are a lot of characters to pick from. See, my point is government cannot do it alone, and it is an entity. Without all of us, it becomes an empty thing. And only through partnerships and collaborative relationships can there be an accelerated progress towards achieving the SDGs. And we know that Rome was not built in a day, but Rome was built together. Each laborer had at work at the end of their own fence. And this is how we will raise the momentum today and for generation to come. So while we deliberate on the things that will outlive us, let us not neglect the things that will help us live. Thank you. Have a good evening.